Well, this morning we are happy to be joined by our senior health correspondent, Monica Robbins. And Monica, we're really happy that you joined the Go team on the early morning shift. We love having you here. But today actually is an important day. It marks 6 years since you were diagnosed with a brain tumor.
That's right. 6 years ago today, I received a call in the newsroom that they found a large mass behind my left eye. It's been quite a journey, and about 4 weeks since I returned to work from my third brain surgery. I've been getting a lot of questions about how it went, and it's a bit of a loaded question, but one I knew I had to answer. So I went in for surgery on April 9th to have a polymer implant put into my head to replace the bone that previous surgeries had removed. And the implant that would have been smaller than this, but similar to this, would have replaced that bone, and it would prevent my brain from pushing my eye out of my head. Unfortunately, when my surgeon got into my head, he discovered that he wasn't going to be able to put that implant in because my brain was full of water and the scar tissue was so intense that the implant wouldn't fit. So they had to figure out a plan B. And what they did was put titanium mesh over my eye, and they hoped that that would prevent my brain from pushing my eye out. So this was a research project, and I knew going into it there was a very good chance it may not work for me. But I didn't realize the problems I might have coming out. So one of the things that developed afterward was, I was giving a lot of medication that I really wasn't used to. And blood work afterwards showed that my liver function and my kidney function was not ideal, and it seemed to be getting worse. So I knew I couldn't take medication for that. I had to fix that with diet. And one of the things I did was I stopped eating all inflammatory foods. I stopped eating all four-legged animals, so only poultry and fish. I stopped eating all refined sugar, no sugar, and basically just water. It's called clean eating or Mediterranean diet. And that's what I've been living on for since my surgery. And I also started on an experimental drug that they've been using for long COVID patients. And my brain surgeon and my neuro-oncologist signed off on this. I had gained so much water weight, and they don't know why. And they think it might have been some kind of weird immune response. And when I started this medication on an incredibly small dose, we're talking 0.5 milligrams, all of a sudden, all the water weight gone. So I'm still on that medication. And again, it is experimental, but it's been working for me, and it's been working for some long COVID patients, but that too is experimental. Another thing that happened was I went and had my MRI, and they discovered I had a large brain hemorrhage or brain bleed. That is not unusual for brain surgery patients, but I still have it. It's getting smaller, but it's an issue that we have to watch. And the last thing that happened was not unusual for brain surgery patients, but I now have a large dent in my head that has to be reconstructed. So I need to go through more surgery by the end of the year. It'll probably have to be a graft that I go through. This is not something that, somebody with many brain surgeries might not deal with, but it is something that has to be repaired. So those are the things that I've been dealing with. I'm not necessarily out of the woods just yet. I gotta manage my stress, but that's why I changed my schedule and came back to a morning shift where I can get a lot of things done, and the stress level, believe it or not, is a lot easier on the morning shift. The problem is getting me out of Channel 3. They have to literally kick me out, so I'm working too many hours. But I just wanted to update you and thank you for all the prayers and all the well wishes and just for thinking of me. But yes, I did have my surgery, and I'm back, and I'm still a work in progress, but I am doing the best I can. And for the record, I do have some polymer in my head. They removed the corner of the skull piece that they used to get inside my head and replaced it with a small piece of polymer, but that's all there is. And later this month, I'll go back for another CT scan to see if the hemorrhage has finally stopped. So that's the latest.
So when someone says water in the brain, what is that, water in the brain?
You know, there's a number of potential reasons for, it's not unusual for brain tumor patients to potentially have hydrocephalus, but that water retention could be caused by hormonal changes. It could be caused by stress and anxiety, and Lord knows I had that. It could also be caused by, you know, they thought I might have had COVID-19 when I had a cold in February, and they thought potentially I might have had a cytokine storm, which may have impacted my kidneys and my liver, and also is a cause of water retention. So, you know, there's a number of reasons. Unfortunately, they just don't know why.
So what was that drug that you took or that you're taking now that got the water weight out?
Yeah, it's naltrexone, which is an opioid blocker. It's similar to the Narcan or naloxone, not exactly the same, but it's an opioid blocker. It's used in treatment. But again, that's not what I'm using it for or the long COVID patients, but we're taking it at very small doses. My understanding is I'm the third brain tumor patient to be allowed to take this. And you know, I don't know if it's actually really doing anything, but it is working for me.
Real quickly, was the surgery a failure?
No, it was not a failure because this is science. And without, you know, everybody might look at me like, oh, it didn't work for me. You know what? I knew that going in, but without failure, science does not advance. And believe me when I tell you, they learned so much from my case. You know, I'm okay with it because you never know. That implant may not have worked for me even if they got it in my head. So no, I don't look at this as a failure. And I'm moving on and I will be okay.
Yes, you're moving on strong because as my bracelet says, Monica rocks, and you definitely rock. And we're so glad to have you here in the morning.
I'm very glad to be here in the morning, too.
We love having you. We love having you. All right, we love this weather we're going to have today as well. So, Matt, give us the details.
Will do. Monica, thanks for sharing that for sure.